but just let your weight yield into the earth so that your feet are meeting and matching the earth evenly through left and right. Usually takes a little bit longer to sense that, but we're quite experienced in, let's say, standing with conscious awareness. So let's float the arms out, and they are in a T shape, or they can come a little bit further forward and even into a lower V if that helps you. And remember that we're just keeping a sense of space and a sense of connection to the breathing. So we're going to start with strong fingers, so spread out your hands from fists a few times. So little fist, spread, fist, spread, fist and spread. Maybe 5 or 6 times, and we will keep those fingers really, really spread out. And then just hold your core engaged in a light way. And let's start to circle for 20 circles forward. That's 10 already. Spread out your thumbs. And then hold steady. And 20 small circles in reverse. Press the arms away. And then leaning, so as you lengthen and lean to the right, imagine that you're sliding along a wall, or you are between 2 panes of glass, and each time you lean and lengthen to the left and lean and lengthen to the right, that is a set. So we're going for 10 and 9 and 8, 7, 6, reach, 5, 4, crown is lengthening, eyes to horizon, 3, and 2, strong arms and fingers, and 1, and as you come back to center, just start to feel how that's impacted the midline. Rotate your palms up, rotate down. So you're turning from the peripheral all the way up, all the way up, all around in and down. And this is external rotation as you roll back, internal rotation as you roll in. And let's go a little faster now for 10, 9, 8, 7. Can you feel the impact on your scapulae? Try to soften out those knees if they started to lock out in the legs. 3, 2, and 1. Then bring the arms up. So I call this a capital Y, but in Pilates method we have this as a V, shape of the V. And then we come down to the capital I shape. And then we open out, palms up to the T. And this is known as I's, Y's and T's. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe. 6. Try and make those arms really powerful and strong. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then let the arms remain outwards with the palms up. And float them back a little bit. Soften the elbows. And can you just feel your mid-scapulae and the low borders of the scapulae squeeze together? You're going to join the arms together, palms up. Breathe in, open, squeeze. So it's almost as if we are in server tray. This is Pilates server tray. Often we reach the arms forward and then floating out, and then that little squeeze like belly wings. Try and avoid a movement into the pelvis. Remember, we're isolating around the shoulders, arms, and the chest. And feel those muscles at the back line engaged. And at the same time, you might want to pause and just check that pelvis has remained stable and steady. So trying to strengthen here those upper back muscles. If you're moving into that zone that can be quite tricky to feel, but that's why we're creating many, many repeats on this one. Okay, angel pumps, these are known as. We're going to pump up 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Turn palms and come down. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then turn palms back, pump back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're feeling the arms now, I'm sure. Making small fists, thumbs inside or outside the fist. Forward circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and backwards for 20. Pausing, and then imagine you're making letter C's at the side of you and polishing those letter C's or drawing those letter C's. Sometimes we call this polishing the balls. So we're going over the top and round, over for 10, 9, 8, squeeze, breathe, and 7, and 6, 5, you can slow down or speed up, 4, breathe, and 3, and 2, and 1. And when the arms come up, interlace the fingers if that's appropriate for you. Just take a little walk around, shake out the legs. Maybe stand shoulder wide if you prefer for this one. But again, level off into conscious standing. Turn the palms away, knuckles move up towards the sky. Reach up. It's important that you don't allow the scapulae to rise and hunch there. So just maybe take a moment to check out the neck and soften the throat. Inhale nice and broad and wide across the thorax, and as you exhale, draw tonality and tone into your body. And then we might start to press up a little bit more, breathe in and out here. Soften the breath out through mouth if that helps. And then move into a really strong overhead if that's appropriate to your body. Turn the little fingers back, inhale, exhale here. I'm going to narrow off the feet to narrow hip wide, and just imagine again that you're in between two panes of glass and side bending. So as one elbow draws down, can you feel also a connection into the left? I've gone to the left, so left side body. Try not to let the hip move over. Just lift out of the pelvis and you are sliding to left, right elbow and armpit is open. Draw back to center with pure mindful awareness. Breathe here. As you inhale, exhale here, perhaps draw the elbows back a little bit, but also sense, is that pinching into your neck, and are you okay with the position you have adopted now? Let's slide the torso into side bend. Side bending of the spine, really important for the health of the spine and one of its natural movements. And then can you squeeze the right armpit towards the hip? Keep that pelvis engaged, maybe some light tone around the pelvic core and into the gluteals, and draw back. So we're lingering there just to feel. And then if you want to feel slightly faster pace, then bending, obviously, left and right, your pace, your style. If I move the arms up a little further, you might want to join me there and find how does that impact you as you go into the full length of the arms in the bound hand position. And perhaps you move that movement up and then you start to draw the arms back in. And then finally, we will release one arm. So we're going to center the body now. Everybody come to center, please. And release the right elbow to the right. And then unlace. Place that left palm on top of the head like a little hat. And then draw the right arm down. And as you reach the right arm down, make a little fist. And imagine a heavy bag. And really engage between this armpit and hip. So you want to not twist that pelvis. You want to try and stay lightly toned, be able to breathe. And then perhaps reach the left arm up. And is the head drooping? Can we avoid a droopy head? Pulling back to center. Release the arms. Let's give them a little roll. And then take the right palm, like a little hat on top of the head. Open up the armpit and slide to your left. Now make a fist in the left palm and let that heavy weight draw you down. Staying here, feel, sense the energy. Can you breathe calmly? And then perhaps choose to let that right arm come up above. Try to feel the muscles that are working hard to prevent you from falling over. And then slide back against that imaginary wall. And release that arm. And again, I'm just going to invite you to shake out those legs. Maybe stand a little bit more shoulder wide and just some easy spirals. And spirals are when you are literally turning a lot of the body. So maybe you're turning the head, neck, torso, pelvis. Everything is spiraling around. Or of course, keep the head centered as you let those arms come really loose. I quite like to do this as well, which I call arm scarf. Just floating that around. And then also if you want to go into a little bit almost feeling of balance, as you spiral, turn the whole pelvis almost like throwing a discus, and then maybe let that leg float away and then come back, spiral round and let that leg float away. So you can turn, bend, spiral, float, turn, bend, spiral and float, and you can hover in that single leg balance, and then bend, turn, spiral and float. And can those actions be really fluid? Yeah, so you might want to allow a few on each side. So how can you just let yourself fly into balance? Almost like bird wings, it's quite balletic. Yes, it's enjoyable, I hope. Let's take a breather here as we stand. And from that overhead position, if it suits your shoulders and arms today, reach the arms up, as I say, from the overhead arm position. Try to find that the ears are in line, or the upper arms are in line with your ears in line with upper arms, centering out through the feet. And then start to hollow out the breastbone. So coming into C-shaped curve. As you dive in, pause here on the first round of breath and then follow through. So you inhale, exhale, maybe pause again. Remember, you can always take the hands onto your legs to support you. But essentially, it's the crown down that it's most important. The weight of your head drawing you down into Mother Earth. And you are just draping there for a moment. And I'd love it if you feel comfortable to release even further over those legs. And then allow yourself to use any organic movement appropriate. So you might want to sway side to side in that kind of feel sense of the body pouring over the legs. You may want to bend a knee, bend the other knee, find that the hips release. So when you're in that fallen kind of sense of floating and flowing down over the legs, how does your back feel? Can you access the neck, the shoulders, the mid and low back? And then notice especially how that feels for you. And then from there, please come to seated. So from your roll down, place the hands down and mindfully come to sitting. First, importantly, can you sit stacking? So shoulders are above the hips, your knees may be bent. Of course, mine look like they're bent up really high, but I do have extremely long femur bones. But obviously, if I let the legs soften here and it's a different kind of sit, then you can also select that position for your legs. And you can even have your legs long and relax now. Okay, so we're going to come into the abdominal focus now in some classical mat-based Pilates. So I'm just going to float the arms forward, almost in that soft, hugging a tree style, as if that's a ballet arm position. And I'm just going to exhale and tip forward first, and just find a light C shape. And in the light C shape, find that lovely sense of rounding the back vertically and horizontally. So sitting tall, breathe in, and then on the exhale, scoop in the belly and just tip forward enough, or spine reach forward enough. It's quite subtle. And feeling that reaching away. And then sit tall again. And on the exhale, we'll start to scoop down on one round of breath and pause. And as you scoop down on one round of breath and pause, can you notice this energy also coming into your back line? So you might even want to bring your feet and thighs together, and ankles and knees, and then curl again and pause and squeeze. Inhale, exhale here, and just pause. Can you scoop in? And then can you slowly come down again, inhale, exhale, and then maybe hover just above the earth, and then the shoulder blades touch down, and as you lay down, it's usually quite lovely to let those legs gather into the body. And notice how that really helps to spread out the back. Lay your arms out, or of course hold on to the shins or the backs of the thighs. Shake out the legs, give them a little circle through the feet and ankles and those lower legs. Just a small little stirring. Try to switch off these calf muscles. And then as the feet come down, just press feet lightly, lift the buttocks and kind of lengthen your spine along the Pilates mat. Remember that you want to have a centre line from the crown to the breastbone to the navel to the pubis. So just make sure that from that seated curl back, you didn't come down in a diagonal fashion. And as you lay back out again, hopefully you're not requiring a pillow, so your spine is allowed to just ripple down along the earth. And remember, we will be coming into more attention in the upper, mid and lowest abdominals, especially around the oblique muscles. And it's a good idea sometimes to bring the palms around this area and feel that you're corseting in. Okay, so the first practice is going to be really slow and measured, and it's Pilates heel taps. So float the right knee above the hip and float the left knee above the hip, and then just lightly flex the feet. So I don't want you to feel that if you do this really strongly, you're going to feel those calf muscles fire up straight away. So just imagine you're resting your feet against a wall, and then engage your muscles as you breathe out. And as I say, I'm suggesting you pop your hands on today just to really keep connected here. Now, as my left leg floats away, it's going to kiss the earth from the heel. I'm going to hover there, engage, and then exhale back. So, heel kisses, there's no sound, it's not clumping down, and then exhale back. Try not to bring any strain into your head, neck, or throat. And then the first few are sort of a reference move. What you're trying to feel is as much of these internal, strong postural muscles supporting you, but also notice that you're coming back to that start position. It's like you've got 2 hot cups of tea on your knees, and you really do not want to disturb that alignment. So there's a heavy base, heavy sacrum, back ribs are down, probably 10 taps will get you into that zone, and then you'll add another 5, 6, 8, 10 taps, whatever it might be for you. And it could be that each tap of left and right is a set, and therefore you want to practice, as I say, 5 more sets, or maybe you're going tap for 1 on the right, tap for 2 on the left, and you're counting that way. So can you keep engaged? Really zip that corset up. And I don't know about you, but I'm really starting to feel the energy within. And that's the point of Pilates. It's a low impact method that really gains results in your connectivity. So we're isolating around this area, but you are still managing to breathe, and you're finding not that you dangle the feet and the heels just plop down right near your butt bones. That would be an indicator for you to put the feet down and rest. What we're really trying to do is use the legs as an apparatus and let those heels reach your way down to the bottom of that mat and squeeze back. And on completion, hug the knees in. Give yourself a little rock, or maybe you're still practicing. It's fine to keep practicing while I introduce you to the next movement. So, finding Pilates neutral again. In other words, heavy weight through the pelvis, heavy base, and spread out through the torso. Make sure you can breathe, and then surrender the chest down, surrender the ribs down. Find you have that good connection. Once again, we're going to float the knees above the hips, and we could potentially fold them in towards the heart center a little bit there, but usually in Pilates, the tabletop legs are, as you know, knees above the hips. You can just maybe see the tops of the feet just above those knees. So reach the legs away, and they're kind of going to a 45 angle, head is centered, and then bring them back to table, or even fold them in a little bit. So sometimes I call these ins and outs. You can reach them away lower, but I want you to stop there, pause and engage, and then fold back, or fold back a little bit more just to give yourself that little resting moment. So away and back. Let's go now for 10. 9, 8. Now and again, challenge. You might move the legs a little lower, squeeze that inner zip, but remember you're going to recover and bring back with no rocking on the pelvis. I think we've got about 6 left. Can you feel these muscles? Maybe place your hands again at the sides of that corset or into that midline, really trying to engage well, squeezing through the inner zip. Maybe add a couple more on if you can, and challenge by taking the legs just a little bit lower, securing that corset, and then let's hug again and rock. And it's lovely to pop the feet down, lay the arms down, and of course, floor twist. And when you floor twist, give the same effort and the same attention to releasing moves as you do to the, if you like, the classical abdominal exercises. So please enjoy. And the floor twist, rolling the legs to one side and choosing to maybe roll the head to the other side, and then center. As I said at the beginning of this session, it wasn't really an invite to use weights, because we're going to now come into the Pilates 100, and you can pump those arms much faster when you spread the fingers out or join the fingers and thumbs together. So first of all, classical Pilates 100, find that pelvic neutral and keep a weight pressing down on the pubic core as you curl up and reach your arms forward like strong toned arms, and start pumping on the in and out breath. Feet are resting and they're not pushing through, so please don't press through the feet. So you might pump in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. Imagine you've got balls all the way under, from the fingernails to the wrists, elbows and armpits. Really strong, pumping for about 3 to 4 breath cycles. And then we'll add in the movement of the legs, floating the right knee, pumping away, floating the left knee, coming to tabletop legs. Pumping a little bit more, raise the shoulder blades a little bit higher, reach the legs forward if you can or up. So they might come a little bit here with soft knees, like the ins and outs, or they might go up to sky. You can flex and even come into those sort of Charlie Chaplin feet, squeezing the heels together. Keep pumping away if you can. Remember, you can also lay down. If they're straining into the head and neck, lay down, eyes to the sky, and keep at activating. The abs are drawing in, and then those in the advanced category, lower the legs, pump away a little bit more, inhale, exhale, lower again. And if that was 10 rounds of breath, that's the Pilates 100. As you inhale, exhale, feel all of that fizzy, vital energy circulating around the abdomen. Place your feet flat. Again, find a center that works for your body. Lifting up, checking that you are centered. Draw the shoulder blades down, press the backs of the arms into mat. Curl the tail, so pelvic curl, and just float into a shoulder bridge. Reach your arms narrow. Press through the fingers, hands evenly, heels of hands, press through the thumbs. Squeeze the inner thighs, and just feel this lovely elongation of the front abdominals. And then hollow from the breastbone, hollow into the navel. Start to peel spine down sequentially. Pause, breathe, peel, pause, breathe, and peel, pause, and breathe, and release. Once you've landed, knees above hips again. And this time, cradle the head so that it's interlaced. Draw those hands to support the back of the skull, and elbows are quite wide, or they might be hugging in. So explore in your body what is the best position for those elbows as you cradle the head. So we're going to go into quite rapid toe taps. So now the toe will come towards the end of the mat, and it's just kissing lightly. It might even be the ball of the foot. So start to tap. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if you don't reach the mat, you can just create this action, which is like a bent knee scissor, and it doesn't have to be that you tap the mat and stop moving. So try to move in and out of your rapid toe taps for say 20. And then curl a little higher, and then can you let both feet dangle but not create a lumbar arc, and then draw back. Okay, so you've curled up, you've cradled the head, you can even bring the arms forward in the 100 style, and then can you let both legs dangle down, feel these muscles ignite, wrap and draw back, dangle and back, drop and draw back. Of course, you can lay down, practice. Now the feet don't land, because if the feet land, you're going to switch off all those muscles and the energy you've created. So you are in your tabletop back. Your knees, feet and ankles are squeezed together, and you're bracing down through the abs. And as you move the lower legs down, you just want to hover, squeeze and draw back. Let them dangle, hover, squeeze and draw back. Some of us are in that curled up 100 position, dangle and draw back. And some of us are cradling the head. Inhale and exhale back. And then when you've completed, reach legs long, allow a full body stretch, take arms overhead, really expand through the ribs, pull the breastbone away from the hips, and then bring the right thigh into the chest. And draw the right thigh down onto the ascending colon as you push away through the left leg. Inhale, exhale and curl. And that's a movement for flexibility, of course. Bring the left thigh into the chest, draw down onto the descending colon. You'll feel all that fizzy energy in the abdominals. And inhale and exhale, curl, bring the nose towards the left knee, and stretch away again. And then bring the right foot, bending the knee, maybe put the right foot on top of the left knee or thigh or beside. And you can bring guidance into this twist, so the left hand can come onto the knee or the thigh. And as you draw that thigh, the right thigh, across the body to the left, remain broad and open. And as you roll the right arm down and gaze down your right arm, just inhale, exhale. Quietly, softly, feel that pelvis drawing you into twist. That right side of the ribs is moving over to the right. And then ease out. Reach the legs away again, point and flex the toes and feet, circle the ankles, bring the left foot bent, left foot beside right knee or resting lightly on top. And just guide yourself into twist. And then roll your gaze down that left palm. You can turn the palm up if you wish. Tuck the chin towards the armpit. You may even want to close your eyes as you appreciate the feeling of the breath filling the body. And as the breath fills the body, it also fills the mind. Let's roll back to center. Bring the feet centered. So as I said, classical mat base today, from the arms moving into the abs and the torso. And then draw your arms up so as they float up above the collarbones, palms face, so rotate the palms in, shoulder slaps for 10, 9, 8, reach, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you may want to turn the arms, rotating them, and even some lovely circles. And then they can float up overhead or just hover by the jawline, or you can retain that position with the arms in line with the collarbones. Now bring your awareness now into the tailbone and flatten the back as you curl the tail, curl the pelvis, and pause with that mini pelvic curl. You'll feel the back waist on the mat and the back ribs. Hollow squeeze and scoop and press through feet and toes. So I really want to remind you here, do not just press through your heels. I'm starting to peel slowly up into shoulder bridge. Lengthen the knees away from the ribs. Bring some space, please, between the chin and the throat. So don't look back, but just eyes to the sky. And raise a little bit higher if that helps, but keep curling so that the pelvis stays very super level and you are not dropping down and collapsing. Imagine you've got that lovely ball of energy between your palms, and they could be just a little higher, but stay centered through the weight bear, left and right foot, left and right scapulae. Breathe in and open the arms wide without disturbing that shoulder bridge. Lovely expansive breath, and then pause, exhale and squeeze back round, almost as if you've got this lovely ball of energy. You can make a round shape with your arms if you wish. Inner thighs are strong. Inhale wide, spread, feel the strength in your back line. Exhale, curl into that ball, or you can reach your arms up. Inhale wide. Exhale, scoop it round as if you're hugging a tree. And then take the arms overhead. So you've got a circle and you're going down to touch the thighs and up overhead. So even you might want to touch the hands or hold the wrist like you've got a little scoopy hoop. So let's find our hoop. Take it over and down, over and down. And as the arms move up and down, not disturbing your shoulder bridge, let's go for 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Bring that hoop back above your shoulders and then peel down again. Super slow pause. Pause, breathe, feel, peel, and then peel again. And you can peel several times. Release your arms, hug the knees into the chest. Do yourself a little massage. And then roll up to sitting and balance. So as you roll up to sitting, or you use your arms to roll up, bring those legs out front. And reach the arms. And in yoga, we call this boat pose. But you can dangle the legs down and give yourself a hug and keep the toes away from the mat, which is finding that little rolling like a ball energy. Or you can reach those legs. They can come up a little bit. And then we will sweep the legs over to the left and find this casual seat in Pilates. So it's like side sitting and you're on that right hip. Bring your right elbow down to the earth, spread out the palm or make a small fist. Try and find this lovely line of energy from the left hip to the armpit and through the front body. And if you want to stack those knees, you can. So arrange your legs in an appropriate way. And then let's bring the left arm over the ear and find a lovely side opening. You might want to look towards the right thumb, to be honest, or bring the crown away from the tail. Let's go 1, 2, 3 big circles. And 3 in the other direction. So as I said today, it was really arms and abs. And then as you press through the earth, depending on your practice, you can lift those hips and just come into a Pilates side bend practice. Let's release, maybe one more if we're lifting hips, lengthen. Really feel these muscles are supporting you very well. Arm is up to sky or over the ear and release. And then press up. Bring those legs and sweep them around to the other side. So feet together, or you've got that staggered foot position. Sometimes people even have one leg long, the top leg long. Carefully bring the elbow down. Remember, the left shoulder is not going to push and collapse into the ear. So first things first, respect your alignment. Right, arm reaches up or over the ear. And you might even feel like you want to burst those ribs up towards the sky. Then find that long line, stacking the hips. And you circle your arm with good glossy action 3 times. Forward 3 times backwards, big, big circles. But if you're feeling this would be better, create angel wing. And then I'm going to reach my arm over the ear, press through that lower arm, you can make a fist if necessary. Reach the hips up. And as you reach the hips up, just double check with down the body. Check that this area is secure and strong. Can you lift a little bit higher? How does that feel? And then you might want to set the hips down again. And then raise up again. Remember to breathe, and if you're holding steady, push through the earth, press the earth away, pause. And then fold over into all fours. Bring fists underneath the shoulders. You might even bring the fists quite close to the knees, or you can walk out into an all fours. Thumbs forward. Allow breath in, so patiently receiving breath. And as you exhale, rounding. And please offer that possibly once more. Breathing in as you lengthen, exhaling to round off. And then bring the fingertips to the earth, maybe widen out the knees. Walk the wrists underneath the shoulders. And rotate, breathing in. Open up that right side. Press and spread. And then again, let's try the second side. Open out, twist, expand and flare. I'm going to curl the toes. Lift the hips high into a kind of sort of a down dog. Walk back as if I'm coming into a Pilates pike. Release the feet. Soften the knees. Drape the body. And then slide up. Peel up to stand. Roll the shoulders at the top of that conscious standing. And hopefully you and I feel as if we're standing now in a different felt sense of the body. Sweep the arms, breathe in, super big circle to greet the day. Bring the palms together into the heart and navel. Thank you so much for being here today for Pilates Arms and Abs today. Hope you enjoyed.